Today, we will be going over the Club Runner mobile app in today's Club Runner on the Go webinar. My name is Michael. I will be taking you through the webinar, through all of the information today. And I am joined by my co-host here, Robin, who will be going through and working and answering a bunch of your questions throughout the webinar. And towards the end of the webinar, we will be having a quick Q&A session where Robin will be going through and picking out a handful of the questions that you guys asked during the webinar. And we'll go through and we'll answer them. We'll work to answer them live. Hey, Robin, did you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody. Great to meet you, virtually at least.
It's always been fun seeing everyone filter in whenever we do these webinars. So it's good. It's nice seeing everyone here. So I did mention really quickly that we are hosting a Q&A section. So in your Zoom windows, you should see a small Q&A box where you'll be able to go in and enter in whatever questions that you might have during the presentation. So if you do have any questions, feel free to send those in to us. Robin will be answering them throughout the webinar, and then we'll have a quick Q&A session towards the end. And then just as another note, this webinar is being recorded. So if for any reason you need to jump out in the middle at any point, maybe you have an emergency come up, or you just don't have any more time to attend, this webinar is recorded, so we will be posting it to our clubrunnersupport.com website, where you'll be able to go and view the entire recording at whenever you need on your own time. So let's go ahead and get started. So these are a couple of the things that we will be covering today. Mainly, we'll be going over how you can go about installing the mobile app and all of the various different features that you can do within it. So for example, you can go through and search through a member directory for your club and district and use that to be able to contact the members of your district and club. We'll go through and view some of your website stories or news articles that may have been posted. You'll also be able to go through and take a look at your upcoming events in your area, as well as just keeping a look and tracking your own meeting attendance. So so that we're going to go through this, I do have a demo that is available for us. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to that so we can get started. Here we go. So the screen should just be black, but you should see my phone screen here now. So right now we are on an Android device, but it is important to note that the mobile app is available on both Android and iPhone devices. So both Android and iOS. Right now we'll be demonstrating how to install the app on Android and how it works on an Android phone, but all this information will be exactly the same if you do have an iPhone as well. So let's go ahead and unlock our device. And here you'll see just a standard phone home screen where we have all of our apps available to us. If we swipe up, we can go through, we can take a look at all the apps that we have installed already. But right now, we don't have the Club Runner app installed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and navigate to the Google Play Store so that we can go ahead and start downloading this app. And again, if you do have an iPhone and you're not using an Android at this point, you'll be able to access the exact same app from the iOS App Store as well. So you can follow along with us. The steps might be a little bit different here, but if you've installed an app on your phone before, you can do it exactly the same way here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the icon for our Play Store here. This will go ahead and open it up. And in the top, we have a little search bar. So I'm going to click on that search bar. And we're just going to go ahead and type in Club Runner. We'll click the search button. And right up at the top, you'll see it's popped up here. I'm going to click on it just so we can see a little bit more details. So we see the title app is called Club Runner, and it's from Club Runner. You can go ahead and take a look at some of the various screenshots that we have available to us. So for example, if we click on this and open it up, we can get a little bit of a bigger view. So this is just some of the pages that you'll have access to, and we'll go through and we'll take a look at all of these after we've finished installing the app in this case. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to click back, and now we're going to go ahead and just click on the install button. And it's going to go ahead and start downloading and installing it into our phone. Now, It is a pretty quick install. As you can see, it's already finished on our end here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the open button. And this will open up the app for us for the first time. Now, before we proceed, I'm going to go back. I'm going to click on the home button at the bottom of the screen. And that's going to go ahead and it'll show us where the new app has been, where the app has been installed and where you can click on it later on. So it's now been placed on our home screen. And if we swipe up to go into our app drawer where we see where everything is installed, we'll be able to find it here as well. So if you ever need to come back to this app, you can just open it up in this exact same app drawer where everything is at, and you can click on it here. Now, the very first time that you open up the application, you will be asked a couple of questions for asking for some permissions to access some data on your phone. Now, the very first one is whether you want to allow Club Runner to access your contacts or not. In this case, we're going to go ahead and click allow. What that is going to do is that it will allow us to go through later on when we're taking a look at some of when we're looking at the membership directory, and it will actually allow us to go in and save the contact information of the members that we find within this mobile app, and it will allow us to save it directly to your contact list on your phone. But we'll take a look at that a little bit later. So after you've done that, the very first thing that you will be presented with is this login screen. Now now you're able to enter in both your username and your password. This will be the exact same username and password that you use to log into your regular Club Runner website. If for whatever reason you don't remember your login information, all you need to do is click on the retrieve login/reset password link that's just below the sign in button. And that will go ahead and bring us to this page where we can go ahead and we can start typing in an email address, as well as your last name here. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and click on send an email. And once you've done that, an email will be sent to your email address, where you'll be able to go in and you can recover both your username as well as reset your password. So once you've gone through all those steps, you can come back and we can start entering in our login details here. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to log in as Lemmy Garfath here. So I'm just going to type in their information. And we're going to go ahead and click sign in. Now, once you've signed in, the very first thing that you'll see is this really nice club overview page that we're looking at right now. So you can get some really quick information about the club. So you can see we have the name of the club, a nice little quick club motto that we have here, service above self, as well as some information like the current club president, the area governor, as well as the district governors. Now, if we were to click on these names, it'll bring us right to their member profile where we can access more information about them. So if you need to contact these individuals in a pinch, this is the way that you can do it. Let's go back. You'll also have quick links to access your club's website. So if we click on club website, it'll open up our browser. Oh, actually, let's see here. Let's just skip through this just a little bit. So there we go. It'll bring us directly to our club browser. In this case, this is a fresh install of the phone, so it has us a little bit extra questions in there. But usually, it'll primarily just bring you right here. Let's go ahead and actually try that again, just to see what it'll look like when after everything's been set up. We'll go ahead and click on club website again, and it'll just bring us over into our web browser of choice and load up our website for us. And we can scroll through and access it however we want. And the same thing goes for our district website. So if you ever need to go in and really quickly visit the various different websites for your Rotary organization, you can do that really quickly through the mobile app. You will also find some information regarding your meeting information. So it'll let you know how often your meetings are occurring based off what's been set within Club Runner already. So you can see here, our club has meetings every Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the Dundas Street Grill at this address. Now, you might have noticed that there's a little icon to the right of this address with a little arrow inside of it. If we ever need to get really quick directions to this location or to this address in this case, we can go ahead and we can click on that address, and it will go ahead and it will open up the Google Maps or the Maps app for your iPhone as well, and it'll provide you with a little pin of where that location is set. So this might not add up 100% because this is some testing information that we've put in. So it's brought us to this this business here. But you can go ahead and click directions, and it'll go ahead and let you start however you would like. Let's go ahead and click back again. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other pages on, that are available to us. You might have noticed at the bottom of the page here, there are 3 different buttons that we can click on. One is members, the other is executives, and the last one is events. Each one of these are different tabs that you can click on where you can go and get some more information. So, for example, if we clicked on the members tab, it will go ahead and load us up a quick little directory of all of the members within our club. So if we scroll down, we'll see all of the members of our club here. And if we go ahead and click on one of these people's names, so let's go ahead and click on Enrica here. We will then have access to all of their contact information so that if we ever need to, we can go ahead and we can reach out to them directly. So we have access to their phone number, their email address, and their home, as well as business addresses, as well as a little bit of personal information about them, like their birthday and their anniversary dates for when they've joined Rotary. Now, just like before when we clicked on that icon to open up the map, you could do the exact same thing for these various different pieces of information. So Enrica here has included their cell phone number within their profile. So if we need to reach out to Enrica, we can go ahead and click on this little text message icon to the right of our cell phone number. And it'll ask whether we would like to call or text Enrica. If we go ahead and click on text, it will open up our text messaging application where we can go in and we can start sending a message what we would like. Hello, Enrica. And then we can go ahead and click send, and they'll receive their text messages as they normally would throughout their phone. Let's go back. Now, you can also do the exact same thing. If we click on this again, and this time we click call, it'll go ahead and automatically input their phone number into your phone's dialer application. So we can go ahead and click call, and it'll go ahead and dial that individual.
Dialed it correctly.
Oops. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second.
Dialed it correctly.
Just going to pause this really quickly. Looks like it was an invalid number, so I was getting a little bit of an error message on my phone. But we're going to go ahead and go back and navigate back to our Club Runner application. And the same thing goes for our business addresses. So we can click on the little directions icon, and it'll open up that address in our app or in our application. So in this specific case, it brings us to our Club Runner at our Club Runner head office at location. So at 2060 Winston Park Drive, and we can go ahead and get directions there if we would like. Now, I did mention before that we can really quickly add individuals to our contact book on our phone. And that's exactly what we can do with this button that you can find all the way at the bottom of the app. So right now it's a little gray button that you can click on that says add contact. If we go ahead and click on add contact, you'll get a nice little message, contact created an address book. Now there is a little bit of an error message down here since we have some invalid information in this contact for testing purposes. But if you were to go through and do this yourself, that message shouldn't pop up, and it'll be added directly into your phone's address book for you to call, and then you can go through and use it as normal. So we'll go ahead and click OK. Then we'll go ahead and click back, and we'll click back once more to go back to our home page. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the executives tab that's here. If we click on executives which will be the middle button at the very bottom of the application screen, this will go ahead and load up a nice little overview of all of the different club executives for our organization. So we can see the president-elect, secretary, executive secretary, treasurer, and public image chair in this specific case. But for your club's information, whatever executives that you have listed for the current year will be displayed here. And of course, up at the top of the page, you can see that we are currently on the 2022 to 2023 calendar year. And if we click on either the arrow pointing to the right or the arrow pointing to the left, it'll bring us to either the previous year or the next year as well. So we can take a look at all of this information too. And just like it worked, just like how it worked when we were looking at the members list, we can go ahead and click on one of these executives to pull up their contact information and access that really quickly as well. And it all works exactly the same. Next, once we go back to that main My Club section, the very last one that we'll look at is the Events button, which is the third icon in the row at the bottom. Once we click on Events, it will it'll come and it'll load all of the upcoming events for our club, and we can see exactly what's available for us to look at. So on April 18th, we have an event called Effective Campaigning. If we click on this, it'll go ahead and show us some more information about it. So we have a quick little description. We have information on who will be attending, as well as on when the event will occur, as well as who will be hosting the event. And then we can do this for all of the different items that we have here as well. Now, usually, if you have any events that are available to be registered on or registered for, you'll be able to open up your events, and you'll be able to click on. Actually, here's one that we have available for us: the Etobicoke Cookout on April 27th. We can actually go ahead. We can see a nice little map of where the event is located, and we can also go ahead and click on the Register button here, and this will direct us to the page on our club's website, where we can go through and we can start registering for our event. So we can click Register, and we can enter in our contact information, which has already been filled out for us. And we'll go ahead. So in this case, we could just go ahead and click Save. And now you can see, in order to complete your registration, you are required to make a payment. So we can scroll down just a little bit, where we can go and we enter in our credit card details. But this is all based on how your club has that event set up. If the event is free and there's no need for any payment option, this section won't appear for you, and you'll just be able to register. So this works exactly the same as it does on the regular club website. So you'll be able to register as normal. Now let's go ahead and go back. And we'll go back to our main My Club page again. Now you don't really see anything else on this page. So we have all of the information on My Clubs, and we have access to members, executives, and the events tabs. But that's not quite everything that's available within the Club Runner application. If we click on the hamburger menu, that's the technical term for it, but the three little lines in the top left corner of the page, of the screen, next to the left of where it says My Club, if we click on that, it'll open up a nice little side menu where you'll have access to all of the different areas that are available within the mobile app. So we've already taken a look at everything under the club menu. We've looked at club members, club executives. Now we didn't take a look at club stories, so let's click on that. So here you can see a number of different news articles that have been posted by the club for us to go ahead and read. So if we were to click on one of these headlines, it'll go ahead and it will load up the article for us to read through. and we can scroll up and down however we would like, just as you would on the club website. If we click back, we can go ahead and read another article as well. So this is a really good way to keep up to date with your club, whether they go ahead and they post news articles about the ongoings of the club, any new information that everyone needs to be aware about, or if it's just stories about the ongoings of the area around you. This is a good way to go ahead, learn about what's going on in your organization and in your area, and find out more and get involved. Next, we also have not looked at the My Attendance section as well. So if we go ahead and click on My Attendance, this will actually load up all of your attendance information for your club meetings. So you can see for the 2020, at the top, you'll see the current year, and you can go back and forward years just as you were able to on within the executives page. So we'll be able to see all of the history for the meetings that we've been able to attend within the selected year. So for the 2022 to 2023 Rotary year, we can see we've attended 2 meetings out of a total of 3. And one of those meetings, we have a makeup applied to it to make up the difference. And then you can see just below that, you'll be able to see a little further breakdown of your current year-to-date attendance. So we can see we have an actual percentage of 100%. So we have effectively attended 100% of our meetings. However, we also have a 66.67% of a reported attendance. So what this means is the reported attendance refers to the number of meetings out of the total number of meetings that you had physically attended for your club, while the actual percentage includes any makeups that you might have earned as well. So you can see we have all 3 of these meetings listed. January 7th, in this case, Lemmy here had missed the meeting, but they were able to make it up on January 21st, 2023, and they've earned the credit for that meeting. We've also attended February 7th, as well as the March 7th meetings as well. So that's how you can go through and you can take a look at some of this information. If you want to see the specific makeups that are available for us, if you do end up having, you can click on, if you want to see the makeups that you have available to you, you can go ahead and click on this makeups tab as well. And once you do that, you'll be able to see the amount of total banked makeups. In this case, we have 0 banked makeups available for us. But you can also see the amount of makeups that have been applied to our account as well. So we can use this as a great way to really quickly get an understanding of exactly how our attendance statistics are holding up. I know some clubs will value meeting attendance more than others. So if your club really likes to maintain a high attendance ratio, this will be invaluable to you for you to make sure that everything is accurate and up to date. Now, we've looked at a lot of information for our club. So I've gone ahead and I'm going to open up that menu again. And just to show you how I did that once more, in the top left corner of the mobile application, there is the 3 lines next to where it says my attendance or the title of whatever page we're looking at. It is also called a hamburger menu. If we go ahead and click on that, we open up that side menu again. Now, there are some other options that are available for us to look at here as well, mainly under the heading District Menu. So under this District Menu section, we can see a couple of different items that are available for us. One is the club listing. So this one is another really nice feature that I like to show off. If we click on Club Listing here, it will go ahead and it will load up all of the different all of the different clubs that are available, all of the different clubs that are within your club's own district. So these are all of our sister clubs within our district, and we can go ahead and we can click on any one of these clubs. So let's go ahead and look at the Rotary Club of Bathurst here. It will go ahead and it will load up all of the exact same information that we saw about our own club previously, but for this Rotary Club of Bathurst instead. So we can see the president, the area governor, and district governors for the Rotary Club of Bathurst. We can go ahead and click on the club website and the district website buttons in order to really quickly access that club's website. Go ahead and click back. We can see their meeting information. Now, at the bottom of the club, you'll also see that exact same bar where we have access to members, executives, and events. We click on members. We can go through and we can take a look at the members of that club, and we'll have a directory to reach out to other members of our district. So if you were speaking to a member of another club at maybe a district event and you wanted to get into contact them for some reason, you can go ahead and use the Club Runner mobile application to go ahead, find their profile, and you'll be able to find their contact information so you can get in touch however you would like. The same thing goes for the executives button. We'll go ahead and click on that, and we'll be able to see all of the club executives for that club, and we can access their contact information in the exact same way. Finally, there's also the events tab. Just like before, we click events, and we'll be able to see all of the upcoming events for that specific club. In this case, it looks like the Rotary Club of Bathurst doesn't have anything going on quite yet, but if they did, you'll be able to take a look at all of those details on your own time as well, and you'll also be able to go ahead and register for these events as well. Let's go ahead and click back once more, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up this tab once again. Now, the rest of these items are very similar to the ones that we've already looked at, but for the district. So if we click district executives, we'll be able to go ahead and see all of the district executives and access their contact information just the same. If we go down to district stories, we'll have access to this. Oh, looks like, sorry about that. I need to restart this here. We can go to district stories, and we can go ahead and read any of these stories as well. Uh-oh. Looks like there's a little bit of an issue with some of the stories that we have here that's making our app not work correctly. But usually you'll be able to go ahead and take a look at these stories as well. And the same thing goes for our district events. You can go ahead and click here and you can see all of the upcoming events for the district as well. So we can see there is a district conference coming up on the 28th of May. So we can go ahead and open that to look at the registration details. And we can register for the event just like we normally would. So we've gone ahead and we've taken a look at all of these different features that are available for us. The one last thing is the Preferences tab. So let's go ahead and click on that. And right now, the only option that's available here is to change the language of the content that's displayed. So if your club does make use of several different languages within Club Runner, they will be displayed here, and you can go through and change between them. Right now, the club that we are logged into only supports the English language at this time. So you only see the English language displayed here. Otherwise, say you are in a club which uses the Swedish language and you've enabled Swedish within your Club Runner subscription, you'll be able to go in and click on the Swedish language to view this as well. So that's just about everything that there is for you to go through and take a look at within the mobile application. It is a very helpful tool. It's a very simple tool, but it allows you to get a lot of different information about the ongoings of your Rotary Club and the district and the clubs surrounding it as well. So if you want to stay involved with the organization, this is a great way to do it. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invite my co-host Robin, and he'll be going through, he'll come up and take a look and ask me some of the questions that you guys have been talking about all throughout the webinar. And we'll go ahead and we'll see if we can answer some of those for you.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everybody. We've got some really good questions coming here through the app. So a couple of them really just kind of go over a couple similar points. For example, a couple people mentioned that when they're when, for example, when they're the club members, they didn't see the ed button, or for example, or when you're at the contact, and it says the I think Thomas had a question. Says I don't see the contact button at the bottom, the add contact button. It seems like not everybody has that option. So if we go to like a member.
So we're referring to this add contact button down here at the bottom.
Yes.
If you don't see that contact button at the bottom here, I would recommend that you double check the permissions for your phone to make sure that you provided contact permissions to the mobile app. Otherwise, it won't be able to go through and add that contact for you. Otherwise, if you double check that everything is good and it's still not showing up, the individual might not have provided information or provided their privacy settings to allow that, or there actually just might be something weird that's going on. So if you are running into any specific issues with the mobile app, we always do recommend reaching out to our support team, and we'll be able to go ahead and take a look and help you out as best as we can.
Yes, Shari, she just said on my phone, you just scroll down, there's a button rather than a bar as yours has. Shari, I think what we're going to do is we'll reach out to you because it seems like quite a few of you there's just little issues that we might want to take on a case by case basis. So I think it'll probably be a little bit easier if we just kind of answer that, reach out, just kind of help you. Just because a couple of you mentioned, for example, some people mentioned that they don't have the attendance option. So one thing I would suggest is making sure that you have the most recent version downloaded. One thing I sometimes like to do is I'll just completely delete the app and all of its content on my phone and then re-download it again, essentially a fresh start. And just to confirm for you, Joe, yes, the Apple version of the app and the Android version they are slightly different. It's not exactly a 1-for-1, but essentially I meant that in the sense that I'm just looking at, for example, I can see that Michael's on his Android right now, but I'm on my iPhone. And when I have it open up to it, it looks like, for example, all the coloring is a bit different, but it should have all the information. So for example, things like cell phone, email, business address, home address, personal info, it should all still be there for everybody. So it might look slightly different going from Android to iOS, but it should essentially be the same steps to navigate between one and the other.
That's exactly right, Robin. If just for the basis between the two devices, there are some differences between the two, but generally all of the items that we did go through today should be available on both of them, and they'll be able to be accessed in pretty much exactly the same way. It just might look a little bit.
Perfect.
Sorry, Robin. I did see a question from Denise in chat. What is the best way to reach out to the support team? So if you guys do need to reach out to us for whatever reason, you can go through and you can visit our clubrunnersupport.ca website. Let me actually go ahead and bring that up for you really quickly. Let's see here. Here we go. So I have our clubrunnersupport.com website here. If you do need to reach out to us, you can go ahead and visit the Contact Us button in the top right corner. And you'll be able to go through and enter in your name and contact information, as well as a quick message about what your issue is that you might be running into. And either myself, Robin, or one of our other support colleagues will do our best to get back to you within about 24 hours to see if we can be of any assistance.
Okay. So another one that just kind of came in, from Penny Millar. So their club actually uses DACDB. So she was wondering if the district menu is only available if for non club runner districts.
As long as your club's information has been added into Club Runner and you're able to log into Club Runner, you'll be able to access all of this information for your district.
Perfect. Okay. I'm just going through. We got quite a few questions near that since you've been chatting. Okay, so on the events tab, it just to kind of confirm, unfortunately, if you click an event, it won't show the members for that event.
Yes.
Yeah, it won't show any of the registered people. Yeah.
That is correct. If you go to an event, you will not be able to see the individuals that were registered for the event. I had misspoke during the webinar. If you see in the details regarding this event here, the Etobicoke Cookout, where you see the name Rusty Cutting, that is the host of the website. And I had misspoke, and I had actually said the people that registered. but I had meant to say the host of the event. So I would like to apologize for that.
Okay, perfect. Now, I just want to let people know there are some very specific questions that seems like some people are having very specific versions. For example, Jim Schmidt, you said everything's up to date, but you still don't have that ad contact info. Situations like that, I think it's probably best if we'll just reach out because it seems like it's very specific just to yours. So rest assured, after the event, we're going to go through all the questions, anything that has been answered, we will reach out to you. So just in case we don't necessarily answer your question now, we will reach out to help you. So for example, like Christine, you're having issues resetting your password, we'll reach out to you there. Let's see.
I do see a couple of questions saying that you don't have the attendance on your own app. Typically, if you don't see that attendance option, that means that that option isn't available to you right now. So if you do have this, in order to have access to this attendance section, you will need to actually have a Club Runner subscription through your club. If your club is just making use of the district's website, this actually won't be available to you in this case. So I hope that was able to clear up some information on that front. If the attendance app section might not be available to everyone, it is only available to clubs that have a Club Runner subscription.
Perfect. Okay.
Let's see. Oh, my screen keeps turning off here. That's why it keeps going black. Sorry about that, everyone.
So
do you have
Catherine,
any other questions from me?
yeah, there's quite a few questions. There's actually quite a bit. They're still kind of coming in, but I'll mention one of the mentions. Catherine Shakarud mentioned how do you correct information on the club events? It's if I'm not mistaken, you just have to log into the desktop or laptop version of the site to make the changes, correct? Like essentially, if you want to update any information on the app, you can't update it in the app itself. It needs to be done on the desktop version.
Yeah, that's correct. So the mobile app right now is only available to take a look at the information that is available. So if you find any information that might not be correct, you will need to log in to the Club Runner website itself to go in and manage that and update that on your behalf. And once everything's been updated, you can come back into the mobile app. And on most of the pages here, you'll be able to find a little refresh icon in the very top right corner of the app. And if you click on that, it'll actually refresh all of the information that's displayed so that it'll go ahead and it'll grab all of the most up-to-date information from the Club Runner website. And if you can't see that refresh icon, you can also click, press and drag down on your screen, and you'll see this little refresh icon appear. Once we drag down and let go, it'll refresh it as well. So if the information has been updated already, but it's just displaying out-of-date information in the app, that's how you can go about refreshing that in the same way. So that works for your club events, and that will also work for your club member, your club directory, as well as pretty much every page that's available here. You can go ahead and refresh it to grab the most up-to-date information. I hope that was able to answer that question.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I see we do have quite a bit of questions. I'm afraid we might not be able to get to all of your questions today, unfortunately. We will go ahead and we'll try to answer a couple more. But if we don't get to your question, we will go ahead and we'll reach out directly to you after the webinar to see if we can be of assistance.
Perfect. I think we'll take the last one from Dennis McLevy. He mentioned, why does mine only show the district website? I noticed a couple of people kind of asking why it's only showing that specific view.
So usually if your club doesn't actually have their own Club Runner subscription, like I mentioned before, you won't have access to the My Attendance section. If your club doesn't have its own club subscription, you won't actually be able to go ahead and access your own club website. So you'll only be able to really go ahead and access the district website itself. So that's usually what's going on. Otherwise, no, I think that's just about it. If your club is subscribed, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be glad to help. I'll take a little bit of a further look.
Perfect. Okay. I think that's more or less it. Everybody else who hasn't had your questions answered yet, again, just to let you know, we didn't ignore it. We're just gonna we'll do a review after the fact as well. Make sure we didn't miss it. For some of you who had very specific issues with your count or something like that, we will reach out to you each individually, just to kind of make sure that we answer your concerns, and you can let us know if you have any questions. In the meantime.
Okay. So before we do get going, there was one thing that I really did I wanted to bring up for everyone. Myself personally, I'm a fairly private individual, and I don't like sometimes I don't really like having my information put out there. Now, so you might go through this list and you might think, hey, I don't really want my information to be available here. This is something that I wanted to put up because I think this is pretty important. If you go through this app and you find you don't really want your information displayed, if you go ahead and you log in to your Club Runner website directly on your computer in a web browser, let me actually go ahead and pull this up here. So this is our club. We're logged into as Lemmy here. If we go ahead in the top blue navigation bar, we can go ahead and click on My Club Runner, and then we click on My Profile. Oh, sorry, it looks like I got logged out. Give me one moment here while I reset. Sorry, it's taking just a moment here. So we're actually able to go through and we can edit our profile to change what's called our privacy settings. And what this will allow us to do is essentially hide this information from the mobile app. So in the event that we don't want it displayed and we don't want it publicly accessible, we'll be able to go through and make that change. So it looks like it's taking just a little bit to load up here. Let me go ahead and try to see if I can kick this a little bit. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, it looks like it's hanging a little. My computer seems to be hanging just a little bit for me here. So I'm not actually going to be able to show this off to you. But in each of your member profiles, if you log into your member profile on the website, you'll be able to go ahead and visit your profile, and there will be a tab where you can select privacy. And in that privacy tab, you can go ahead and find a bunch of different options for club directories as well as the district directories. So you can go ahead and you can either completely turn it off so none of your information is displayed, or you can manually pick and choose what information will be available for you there as well. So if for any reason you want to hide that information from other members of the club or district, you can feel free to do that. Oh, actually, it looks like it's loading up for us right now. Let me see if I can show that to you really quickly. Let's see if this works. So we're just going to log in. Perfect. There we go. So we're just going to go ahead on this welcome page. We're going to click on Edit My Profile. And this will go ahead and it'll bring us directly to our profile. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see. And along this line here, where my mouse cursor is, the very last item is the Privacy tab. And we could go ahead, click on this Edit button here on the far right. And if we scroll down just a little bit, we will find the Club Runner Privacy section, where we can go through and we'll have access to district privacy settings, as well as club privacy settings. So you can manually go through and select, by default, all of these will be selected. But if you want to hide any specific piece of information, you can uncheck them for whatever you would like. So the district privacy settings will be able to hide this information from other members of the district. Or you can uncheck Allow Search to disable everything. And the same thing goes for our club privacy settings here as well. We can manually and individually select what information we don't want to allow to be shared. Or we can disable everything. And then we'll go ahead and click Save. And now whenever someone whenever someone visits the app, and after it's been refreshed, all of your information will be hidden and they'll no longer be able to see it. Sorry for cutting you off a little bit there, Robin, but I did want to make sure that we did share this information with everyone before we get going. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up the webinar here. We did end up going a little bit over time. So thank you everyone very much for joining us today. So we've gone ahead and we've joined everyone. Yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for joining us all today. I know there are still a handful of questions that are available that are in the Q&A section that we weren't able to get to. So we will be reaching out to each of you individually to see if you've been running into any issues, and we'll go ahead and see if we can assist further. So thank you very much everyone again for joining us today. I hope all of you has a great rest of your evening, and I hope to see some of you guys in our webinar later today at 6 p.m. So take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.